We are looking for these weekly jobless claims. The futures have been higher ahead of that. Let's get right over to Rick Santelli, who's standing by with the numbers in Chicago. Rick.
Yes, 214,000 on initial claims. That's 14,000 less than the 228,000 last week, which still may get revised. But 214,000 as it stands would be the smallest number going back to the third week in September when it was 190,000. 1,385,000 is continuing claims, very close to expectations. And in the rearview mirror, 1,364,000. So it is a bit better. Actually, it's the best level going back to the first week in September when it was 1.4 million. And if we look at the October read on Philly Fed Index, expected to be down 5. It's down 8.7, down 8.7. That's the weakest since July when it was down 12.3, and it underscores how manufacturing definitely seems to be folding in on itself these days. If we look at the response in the marketplace, there's several things to pay attention to. We see that after cycle high yields yesterday, we're easing back just a bit on everything from 3s through 30s. 2s are basically unchanged to a smidge higher around 456. And many are now saying that the terminal rate will be over 5%. Of course, there's a lot of talk out there about exactly how that will turn out. And do keep in mind that the yen continues to get hit against the dollar. It's at the lowest level since 1990. The Bank of Japan forced an emergency buying in their bond market. And despite that, 5-year and 20-year maturities were still at 7-year high yields. And keep in mind, record imports and exports in Japan, and that speaks volumes. The record imports, because they have no energy, they have to import it all. Record exports, because the yen's at the weakest level since 1990. In some perverse sort of way, those balance each other out. Makes my brain explode. Becky, back to you.
Yeah, Rick, just watching some of those things today as they're trying to support the yen, I mean, that has been something to behold. They don't want to raise interest rates while the rest of the globe is raising interest rates. They've got this incredibly high level that they're looking at of 0.25%. But that's a really tough game to fight.
Yeah, oh, it absolutely is. And we all know eventually the Bank of Japan is somehow going to lose this battle. But it's literally been going on for decades, and it really makes investors wonder how that affects other large economies that are basically moving down the same path, albeit well behind the chapters that Japan's in.